We weren't. That was not on our list. You know what I mean?
sure.
And I don't think it was on a lot of people's lists. But I know people were rejoicing that the fact that even Mia gets a win. Might be promising for some people, not just the Mia mains out there, but also just, again, the people that like to kind of go outside the norm or outside the meta that, we're used to seeing. Because I would say we've already kind of got that standard going where it's like, there's already going to be that trade for the Barretts, the Belric probably, the Atlas if it's not banned out, Nolan and Hirara in the jungle. Melissa's the top most picked hero right now. So when it is something different that goes against the norm, I'm all for it. As someone who likes to go against the meta and who, played one hero before he actually was meta, which was Gord. Yeah, I was happy to see it too.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think with the Mia or heroes like this, like Mia, right? It's hard to justify them from a normal person's perspective. But I guess if you play the gold lane so much and you obviously have grinded it out in the land of dawn and in game and through your scrims, through the actual tournaments, your understanding of the game is it exceeds what normal people can understand. And that's probably this is my guess. This is the reason why Eman, when asked why he picked the Mia, is that he looked at the heroes and he feels like it fits. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell kind of explanation that is? But if you dig deeper, I think what he's trying to say is that my knowledge tells me that having the Mia without any kind of threat to the Mia is gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think what made it work though too is the fact that you eventually had that Rafaela. The Rafaela is a really big game changer, just because of the fact that you get that revive, and we saw a lot of the fights going through that game 3 where Aurora Gaming would get one of the members down and Pikatron by Vitality, but then because of the revive, they're back to full fighting form quickly, and that was one of the things that we've seen now for different teams that have drafted in that Rafaela, and now you see the trades happening between like a Matilda, even for example, Matilda, Rafaela. And I don't know how much of that is going to be different here in this third place match, but the bans already look pretty standard from what we've seen. It is going to be the Atlas going out, Paquito there, Freya, pretty much a red side staple. And I think the main question is, do you go ahead and just grab the Hirara for Uni? I think that's one of the main things they'll be contending, or trading it out for the Barretts.
Yeah. That's, I believe, I was able to talk to some of the players and they feel the same way as I feel like. Of course, you pick up Melissa, Hirara, those are the biggest, I would say, heroes of the patch, but it definitely is Barretts that will take number one place when it comes to like what is the most OP hero. And because of how much impact there could be with this hero, with the Barretts, a lot of players feel confident that it is indeed the strongest hero we have in our meta game right now. We're about to see it, if it will be picked up again. Aurora Gaming, they like playing the Eudora, but they also like to play Tien's hero, like maybe Rosa's hero, third pick, or even into that more later into the draft. Okay, is this Barretts or Hirara?
I think they're gonna go Hirara, man. I think they're gonna go Hirara. I wonder what the audience is more a fan of. Are they Aurora Gaming fans or are they SRG fans? Because yesterday everybody in the audience had their the signs on their phones and everything else, and it was good to see. I know there's a lot of Onyx fans waiting to see if Onyx can be a repeat champion here, but as we wait for this next pickup for SRG, that'll tell us what's going to be traded out. Is it the Barretts? Hirara can work. Both are good, and both kind of start your composition off great, especially on blue side, and it's going to be neither, man. It's the Melissa, the other hero that has been rising once again in priority, although it's been picked the most. But is this worth the trade? You give the Barretts over, and probably, I don't know, what, the Belric? Hirara? Belric?
Yeah. Both can work. Both are good. But I think they will go Hirara because they want to reach this Melissa. And TNT TNT with any kind of hero is already really good, and if you give him an OP hero, he's gonna make it work for sure. Especially with the help of the Barretts as well. If you add those two factors, then just it's a no-brainer to pick up the Hirara this time for Aurora Gaming. Oh, SRG. I think the next thing you'll do is get maybe Nolan and then get the Uranus. I feel like is
Yeah, that's
the
what I was
better
thinking.
option here. Yeah.
Just grab the Uranus. I almost half expected. I guess that's why they decided to go ahead and trade. It was like, we'll take the Melissa because there definitely could have been a trade instead where Aurora Gaming picked up Uranus because that seems to be more of an answer when the Melissa is there. They like to go ahead and build in that, pick up that XP lane for the Uranus pick. But Barrett's, like you mentioned, probably the most impactful, I would say, hero right now. Whoa, it's going to be a Fanny instead for Uni. But like you mentioned, instead of the Nolan, it's Fanny, and then the Uranus goes over. It makes sense. But yeah, do you think the Fanny is that a good pick for Uni right now?
Yeah. All things considered, yes. My brain defaulted into thinking that Fanny was automatically banned, but it isn't. And that meant that this time for SRG, they're going to get a strong hero in a way that it can make a lot of outplays. It's like, it's a strong hero when used properly, is what I'm trying to say, right? So, still not the easiest to pilot. Aurora Gaming, though, a great response is the Matilda. Typically, when you're facing against the Fanny, you would look for any kind of lockdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some teams have realized that we don't really need a lot of stunts against the Fanny. If we can sustain ourselves, then it also works against the Fanny. Because all of a sudden, you're not controlling the Fanny, but the Fanny is not taking down anyone. So you're gonna be safe. So yeah, I do understand why this is the solution now for Aurora Gaming.
I mean, when the Fanny was popped up one time, we saw the Kufra be the choice to deal with it. But I think the Matilda obviously just works better with this, especially when you have a Barrett's already there and just already a mobile enough hero in the Harada that, if you have a guiding wind, then that's great. Good ban here because I expected the Raphaela to be picked up by SRG if it was let free, because that seems to be typical response, right? There's a Matilda over here. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a Raphaela. We had this whole debate yesterday, or I shouldn't say debate. We had a discussion, man. It was about the utility provided by the Raphaela, like how she can speed up her whole team in comparison to where like Matilda, you basically can guiding win one person. You know what I mean? So it's like we kind of saw that in action a lot. Where now this Raphaela, I think, is going to be the immediate answer to a Matilda. So gold lane ban coming out, that Moskov. Now we have to question what is going the gold lane. We got a whole... Hey, they're going opposite of each other. The sweeps, one for Aurora, one for SRG.
Beside each other as well. I think they've been watching ever since, right? I think I kind of recognize that they probably have watched since day one. So that's pretty cool. For Aurora, you're gonna be looking. Okay, they immediately go Brody. Good answer to the Melissa, and also good answer to the Fanny. So I think this checks both boxes. Another option might be the Moscow, which I would said. However, it is gonna struggle against the early comp of SRG. So the Brody makes total sense here. You now have to look for your burst from your mage if you're SRG. So I wonder if this is like Novaria plus a stun. Maybe Novaria and Cho, maybe?
Novaria Cho.
Yeah.
Novaria has also just kind of risen ever since her little buff that she's gotten recently. The Cho's been banned out quite a bit though, so now that it's open, we'll see if that goes in the hands of Yums. Would work. You can also scout out if you do grab that Novaria with that Astral. Whoa, okay. No Astral Echo. It's going to be a diversion with this Louis Yi. And then the Minotaur. Wow. So they got two tanky dudes.
Yep, they get the condition that they need. The two tanky dudes with the Melissa. I am partial about this Louis because it is easy to dive with the Matilda and with the Hirara. And it does not necessarily solve the Brody problem, but it solves the Barrett's problem because now if you're fronting so much with the Barretts, you allow for the Louis to just dish out damage from the backside with the duality
Procs, yeah.
for duality procs with the dispersion. And the Eudora is just a good way to clean this up. Aurora Gaming, they have drafted a very standard draft, I feel like. Very safe, very strong in the metagame. Whereas SRG, this global lineup that they have, it does have a lot of potential to go with it. I'm just scared that this might be such a greedy lineup for SRG. Greedy in a way that it needs a lot to farm.
Well, some final words here from the coaches, of course. Coach Midnight, Coach Arcadia on the opposite ends here with the teams. I would definitely say it's one of those cases, man, where I am also questioning what is the meta, because with what SRG brought to the table, it's a very just specific to them. And I think the play style they want to take to a game one, and I'm all for it. Again, I like that there is some of this flavor being thrown around with our current drafts, with our pickings, and I'm all for it. But let's it's game one of our third. Yeah, I can't believe no one died in that fight. It was a great use of the ultimate from the Melissa there. Innocent dropping down the go away from me. Knew that they had a diversion. This is one of the things we saw in the past couple of days here for Games of the Future, where the gold laners, if they're picking these kind of traditional marksmen, let's say even aside from the Melissa, right, because she's got that ultimate, but before she has the ultimate, you see so much pressure put into that lane to try to like convert a kill early on, delay them as much as possible. This is even what happened to Emon last night. But then eventually, you know, if you have a diversion to bring the team there quickly, all the better. And this is also why we saw, I believe, the Louis banned out a couple times too, because teams just didn't want to give that to the opponent.
Yeah, it's one of those heroes that will always be a problem, like, no matter what. These are always like looking over your shoulders, technically speaking. Spells and abilities, but not much commitment. Muddles defend of Aurora for a little bit. They go the patience coming up from Aurora. They do get the retribution, but the kill coming up from the Melissa. Oh, the circling eagle is not that on point. As Hughes is very tanky. Two tanky dudes protecting this Melissa, allowing for Melissa to get a kill in exchange for the turtle.
Okay, Tienzi's going to get out of there. That was a turtle that they had to fight for. Just couldn't find the opening. And yeah, I would say, you know, this is kind of the case. Whoa, hold on.
Hold on, they still want to go for more. Rosa will be able to get out. Bagu's just so
tell you
good
what.
with Matilda, man.
That's what Matilda. The fight is about to break out, and it's just, you know, it's a feint. It's not actually going to happen just because they can just disengage, guiding wind on out. Nice stun there, but this is Cram on the Uranus. He'll tank that up.
Oh, they do go for the play up top. Woody's down. Just like that. Very simple for SRG to be able, for Aurora Gaming to be able to take out the Fanny. And it seems like, yeah, Lunar is enough, and they get more as Hughes is taken out. They're not respecting the damage of Aurora Gaming.
Hey, man, every single time I see a Brody tear apart some memories, you gotta walk away from it, you know? Like, it's the cool way to do it. Stormy's gonna be in trouble. Oh, circling eagle.
They go in. Enough for now, but that is just for them to shoo away the members of SRG as they were taking the objective anyways. Great take coming out from Aurora Gaming. Will be able to push into the bottom lane. And in the middle, they put their they place their influence once again in here.
Cool.
Oh, look at this! They're just farming up top. The Brody with the Matilda again. Oh my goodness! There's so much that Paga is doing.
You can just rotate as quickly as you need to. I mean, I guess in a way for SRG, at least you're on flying clouds. a lot of these deaths early on, you'll be back up, you just join the fight. But I think they're getting to this point where they're falling behind. Daytona's welcome.
Daytona's welcome for the entry, but the counter from the backlines, no stuns. Humes is out. And the problem they have with this Uranus is that although it's very tanky, it doesn't really threaten for any stun, so there's no stoppage from SRG. They still want to take this turtle fight. Turtle part memory hurts. In comes Uni and wants to take out Pagu, but Pagu, that's not a good target. It's the Matilda. In fact, Aurora Gaming are returning in kind. They do take the turtle and they actually fend off Uni. The Aurora Gaming siege composition is now online. 5-man unit in the middle. Hirara with a dodge. And they will also escape the Minoan Fury. And there's a performance coming out from Sigibu. More electrifying damage coming out from both this Eudora as well as this Brody. The double electric composition coming out from Aurora Gaming. It's too much to handle.
Is that what Brody has? Does he have electricity in those marks?
I think so.
He's got the, I don't know what it is, arcane energy, whatever it is, but it definitely hurts. And that's a kill that's easy to get for them. Off the stun, the lightning ball stun.
Lunar again. They do have the damage. Flicker committed. That's going to be enough. Lunar bid his time down the bottom lane. Understood where the Fanny could be. Game sense as well as game IQ from Lunar is top of the line for sure.
That's why I said, man, you can't give Lunar the Barrett. Oh, he's going to take some damage here, though, but he's got enough shields and he can just guiding wind out of this. But I think it's a bait. They're going to force the flicker anyway. There's a heal from Humes. But look at this. Lunar just knows. He's so safe to be able to say, I can play at less than half health. I can just fly. Like, I can evolve whatever this dinosaur is, I can then get wings because I have a Matilda in the hands of Pagu.
I just like how Aurora Gaming are so good with it. And most especially the way they're utilizing the Matilda. It allows for the Barretts to get into the fight, the Brody to get into the farm. And whenever they press the attack, you know that they can be aggressive because there will be the Matilda to heal them up anyways. So they're always incentivized to make an aggressive play against SRG. And not only are they doing that, they're also making the right moves. They're reading the map like crazy. And now Uni wants to poke TNZ. Look at that. All the damage that Uni was able to deal, it's the Matilda with just one skill 2. And they're topped up.
Okay. Topped up. Lord is up. Aurora Gaming's got control of it. As you can see, this is what I was saying with the problem with Fanny, man. If you get behind like this, you default to just being in the opposite lane to get some push, because that's all about you can do. So Lord is secured. Aurora Gaming gets that secured. They're going to be looking for another kill. You're not going to be able to survive this as Cram tries to get away. He does pop the Consecrate, but TNZ will pick up that one, and they're going to take this tier 2 turret down as well.
Amazing siege coming out from Aurora Gaming. SRG seems like they can't do anything right now. Holy shields to be popped with just 1 minion up top. So good setup coming out from Aurora Gaming. And they will try to push TNC going into the backlines just to poke, just to force some reactions. Reactions are there coming out from SRG as Innocent dips himself into that fight. They do defend and they will only lose about 30% top. But Aurora Gaming are relentless. They want to try in the middle because they do have the Lord. TNZ, look at that. How brave TNZ is. Forcing reactions again from SRG. No more holy shields. Out of the backlines. No. Reutilization from Innocent. Catching the Brody. They take out Quan. That's an immediate takedown. SRG finding the Brody. The heals coming up from Pagu wasn't enough. And it will be Innocent to collect the kill. All the while that's happening, Uni is going to be there. Look at this. The diversion play. I really want to find out how they took out the Brody, but I guess it's just a duality stack. And for some reason, they take out one kill. Uni, now Lunar in trouble. Overstaying in front of SRG. Cram pops the recalls, but you gotta be careful. TNC on the backlines. Humes receives the damage. Damage from Melissa, though. They're returning in kind, SRG. TNC still wants to fight.
No
In comes
way.
Pagu with a Circle Eagle. They stun Stormy, but there's no follow-up just yet. They're quite slow. They want to go for another kill. They eventually take out Humes with the damage coming out from TNC. 3 versus 3. But the damage is torn apart memory, poking them down. TNC wants to collect the kill, but he won't be able to do so. Cram overstayed, and now he's able. Gaming is way too good at it.
Well, The fight started in the base, it went down to the mid lane, and then ended in the base of SRG. And that was probably one of the longest continued fights we've seen in MLBB. I mean, my goodness, is that, again, the power of the Matilda, and also gotta throw in some flying clouds there too, right? Give it up for the flying clouds to bring everybody back into the fight that quick. But it all resulted into some base turrets going down for SRG. I still have to commend what they were able to do, how they found Siggy Boom and actually were able to defend in the base and try to turn the tide. That might have been the best opportunity that they had to make something happen. Unfortunately, it didn't, but they did start to get at least a little bit of gold in their pockets. Now, Innocent picks up a major defensive item, gets the Wind of Nature at least, and what we're seeing here is Aurora Gaming is weaving around TNZ. TNZ has these stacks here, and they just kind of whittle down the members of the SRG and then want him to go ahead and finish it up with that stack, that Skypiercer that he has. So Sigibum's going to go ahead and start up this Lord. It spawns in. I'm wondering, does Solengar Red Giants actually want to contest this?
Well, Stout getting taken out by Aurora Gaming quickly. Already utilizing the models this time. No ultimate commitment just yet. Luna wants to go in. TNC is here. They want to poke Crab. And not even poke. They're threatening for a lethal. Now up against her. The no Luna goes in. But the damage coming up from Rosa. Go away. Stopping two. It's not going to be enough. The Hirara will be able to get the kill. TNC onto the backline. Still. They're fighting. For now, Dust Bomb, the immortality with Ori going in. Damage coming out from Stormy will not be enough as they get away from Danger Zone, and the kill onto Innocent is enough for Aurora Gaming to retreat and get to the Lord this time.
So they retreat. That was really good at juggling happening there. Oni was able to go ahead and at least get TNZ low enough, but he bought the immortality. That proc, he was able to get it out with a guiding wind. Then he picked up a Winter Crown too. He hasn't used the Winter Crown, so he still has that, and he maintains that Skypiercer that he has. But there is starting to show that it's getting a little bit harder to just kind of force into these fights. They have to rely on Lunar to get the Daytona's welcome or the stuns from Rosa, and that's one of the major things. Now that they've got the Lord, though, and there's only one base SRG, this is going to be another case of, can they pull off this defense? Can they make something happen? Whoa, cramp!
Wow, is that gonna survive? The Skypiercer from TNC makes quick work now. They will use the Daytona's welcome for another tank hero that Humes will not survive long. Sneaky Boom feels confident. The Sword of our memory is gonna be enough because there are no tank heroes anymore for SRG. They're not taking the base and Innocent with it. They want to go for a clean wipe, but it won't matter. Game one goes for Aurora Gaming.
What a clinic put on by Aurora Gaming, and especially TNZ here with the Hirara. Again, 10 kills, I think. And it looks like, they're happy about it. Rosa checking the eye there. I think they were celebrating really good about that one because, man, was that a great game one in this best of three. Again, it's a best of three for this third place match. Aurora Gaming gets the first one. We're going to throw it to a break before we go to the studio.
And what a first game here today for the Grand Finals day. But we are here finding the third place at MLBB Championship. But we had just had the game, and then Aurora Gaming took it. I mean, what a performance by TNZ and Sigibom. Really nice one.
Yeah, I mean, what a game from Aurora Gaming overall in general. I mean, they yesterday I was thinking today that they might be a little bit tilted because they were losing yesterday heavily when they were winning. But you know what? Who's winning? Winning our partner, because Freedom. Thank you very much for making this beautiful tournament happen and sponsoring MLBB tournament here in beautiful Kazakhstan and a beautiful game of the future here in Astana. We'd like to appreciate you so much, so that you're just being nice, and thank you very much for that. Back to the thing. So what I was saying earlier, I was saying that I personally thought that Aurora could be tilted from the factor that they lost to go to the grand finals. However, we see completely different results. I mean, they looked strong and they played phenomenally, and I just appreciate Aurora for stepping up today and actually doing their best and showing why they're professionals. You know what I mean? Not being emotional and just giving their best here at beautiful stage of at the Jeffrey Arena.
I mean, we got the highlights up on the screen now. This is how the game started. I mean, they had really good picks during the draft phase. I mean, TNZ with Hirara, which actually did great yesterday by Makairi from Onyx. So great performance by TNZ back is again. He just backed up yesterday for one game, but today he's back again with the performance. I think kind of Aurora kind of had the map for themselves. To be honest, from the start. Great start by Aurora Gaming here, and by 11th minute they already had 6 kills lead, and of course a good difference in the gold as well, around 5k difference advantage when it comes to gold for Aurora Gaming. Great performance, I should say, Sigibom as well with the Brody. Good play. Towards the end when they took the Uni, that was a good pick right there. I mean, towards the end they just passed right into the base of Senegal Red Giants, took it away. A good play. I mean, this leaves them one in lead when it comes to the overall score for the best of 3 now. If Senegal Red Giants really need to come back up, getting that third, they really need to step up for the next game that's coming up right after this one. You will see how the fights went down next to the base, and I think at this point it was pretty much sure that Aurora Gaming was going to get it.
It was a pure dominance from Aurora again. Let's put it. Let's be real here. I would like to. You were saying Figubom and TNZ. Don't get me wrong. The 2 players are phenomenal, but I would like to specify Rosa and Pagu. Pagu with 0 kills, with 0 deaths, but 10 assists. In the other hand, with Rosa as well, 1 kill and I believe 9 assists or 7 assists, somewhere there. Also with the 0 deaths. I mean, they just played phenomenally in the game number 1 here. As you can see, TNZ with 10 kills. Yeah, like I said, Rosa with 10 assists at the end of the game, and Pago with 12 assists. I mean, just an incredible performance for everybody from the team of Aurora Gaming. That was clean. That was good. That was by the book, and it was really professional from them, because I personally thought it would be challenging, because Selangor Red Giants, I mean, just to remind you guys, they beat Aurora Gaming before here at the Game of the Future here at the Group A, I believe. Yeah, they did the 2-0. So, and Selangor Red Giants look promising in my opinion, but however, this game actually now surprised me personally, and it will be interesting if Selangor Red Giants have their strength through and they can come back in the game number 2 and after the game number 3. However, nonetheless, would like to appreciate Yandex Go for making our lives easier, making the fans' lives easier here at beautiful Astana. Make sure to download the app, get a cab, use the Yandex Taxi, and just amazing that we're thanking you guys for making our lives easier here in beautiful Astana.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we saw during the draft phase, we saw Melissa was picked by Innocent again. I mean, I was really hoping there was going to be that combo again, Melissa and
Harley.
Yeah, Harley. I mean, Yums love to pick Harley, but that didn't happen. But I mean, Melissa, that was a good pick as well. By SRG right there, and of course, I mean, Uranus by Cram did a good defense right there towards the end, I believe. Great performance, both the teams for sure, but at the same time, I mean, Aurora had the map. I feel like Aurora really had the grip of the map even towards till the end as well. So Great performance by both the teams. I mean, the picks, the drafts. I mean, that was interesting to see. We got the stats up on the screen for Innocent and Sigibum. We just talked about Innocent picking Melissa. We have the stats up there, and Sigibum as well. Good performance.
Yeah, man, Sigibum is always at the notes. He's always there on point and just doing the damage and taking the damage for the team and always doing that dirty work as always. And he does it just very well. And I mean, congrats to Sigibum for doing that. And we'll be looking forward to how it's going to be played out on game number 2.
Yeah.
Also, most surprising is if there are going to be any interesting drafts we see or we might see in the near future from the Selangor Red Giants, because I mean TNZ here nominated as MVP as always, an outstanding performance as always. I mean the TNZ now it's like default seeing him to make a lot of kills. You know what I mean? His performance was always at the top. That shows that it's so rare to see him underperforming, because you get to see him always outperforming and doing it so well. I mean, again, TNZ, great job here. Now, really important thing is they go out at game number 1 and they finish it up because they were losing like that before in the yesterday and day after before. But before that, we'd like to show you guys a quick video about the teams. Let's take a look.
The Mobile Legends Bang Bang Tournament at the Games of the Future 2026 Astana has reached its final day. After several days of intense competition, only 4 teams remain, but they will now compete for 2 different prizes: the championship title and a place on the podium. The first match of the day will decide the bronze medal. Aurora Gaming will face Selangor Red Giants in the battle for 3rd place. For Aurora Gaming, this match is a chance to complete a remarkable comeback. Their tournament began with a defeat to Selangor Red Giants in the very first match. Since then, Aurora have responded with resilience, adapting to their opponents and securing a series of strong victories to reach the final stage. Selangor Red Giants, meanwhile, will look to build on their strong start to the tournament and finish their campaign with a place on the podium. Having already defeated Aurora earlier in the competition, they know exactly what their opponents are capable of. But this time, there will be no second chance. Then comes the main event, the grand final. Onyx will face Bigatron by Vitality with the Mobile Legends Bang Bang Championship title at stake. Both teams have fought their way through a demanding tournament and now stand just 1 series away from the trophy. At this stage, individual brilliance alone will not be enough. Every draft, rotation, team fight, and objective could determine the outcome. For Onyx and Bigatron by Vitality, this is the moment everything has been building toward. One final battle will decide who leaves Astana as the Mobile Legends Bang Bang champions of the Games of the Future 2026. 4 teams remain. 2 matches are left. And by the end of the day, the podium will be complete with a new champion crowned in Astana. Stay with us.
That was an interesting video about the finalists for today, which is going to be happening in a bit. But we still have to wait for the grand finals, right? We still got 2 more, possibly 2 more maps, or we don't know. If Aurora manages to win the next one, there's only going to be that one single map which decides the 3rd place.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very strong and very bold if Aurora closes up with a 2-0 here. Heidi, I do apologize. I said Group A, but it's actually Group C yesterday. As we were seeing in the video, they were saying that they already meet each other in the first game of their matches, and Aurora lost 2-0 to the team of Selangor Red Giants here.
Interesting to see how the playing strategies and the games how unfold differently when we compare the past experiences, I mean the past performances as well. I mean, and parkour, I mean, let's say so Rosa and TNC actually played really well. As you said, like Rosa came up with, he went with Eudora, and Eudora and Hirata by TNZ both really played as a proper team. Like Rosa setting up for the kills, and the TNZ finishing it off with the kills. I mean, TNZ ended up getting 10 kills in the last game. I mean, good performance by both of them.
Yeah, I mean, also I'd like to pinpoint on Rosa and Pagu. I mean, those duo, for me, they're considered to be support players. Even though they roam, and there's a little bit different terms in this discipline. For me, they did a lot of assists. Let's put it that way. They didn't steal any kills. They got like TNC got all the kills that matters. And the thing is, like, those kills were helped by those two players that always are staying behind and like stood behind, and we tend to forget about those because they're not notable. We get to see the heroes who are making more skills, but I would like to also, shout out to Pago and Rosa for being just outstanding performance and making sure your team is getting those skills that are necessary, and TNZ getting this item that is necessary for his hero to make sure that you guys close the game properly. I mean, just incredible performance overall from the team of Aurora Gaming.
Yeah, like that was some proper teamwork by Aurora right there, which we saw in the last game. I mean, Sigiboy went Sigibom going with Brody, and Pagu with Matilda, Rosa, of course, Eudora and Hirata by TNZ, and of course Lunas with the Barrats. I mean, great play by the whole team, to be honest. I mean, they went for, I believe, Hirata and Eudora. It's more like they are really good in isolating single targets, which they really played out well. And that comp was, when I saw the drafting, it was more like built for forcing fights, but I guess it's time to decide who's going to be taking the third place yet. So we're going to move to casters, Wolf and Niso. Take it away, gentlemen. It's game time.
Thank you so much, Ilyas and Heidi, once again for breaking things down there from game number one. It was an amazing game for Aurora Gaming, of course, and now they're very close. One more point to go ahead and win the third place match here against, again, a formidable opponent, Selangor Red Giants. I mean, I expect this to go to a game three, Wolf. Where can SRG adjust? I know we're going to say, draft, but where in the draft can SRG change things up?
I guess they're giving away too much meta picks for Aurora Gaming. I feel like it's always criminal right now to give away both the Hirara as well as the bats together. And they traded for a Melissa, which is a good hero, but at the same time, between those three heroes, I think the Melissa will take the least priority. I think you still want to look at the Barats as your priority hero, and you pair it up with, because it's the thing with Melissa, it needs other heroes to be effective. Whereas for both the Hirara as well as the Barats, it actually allows for other heroes to be picked up, right? The Hirara is so flexible. You can easily pair it up with any kind of marksman, as you see the Brody just walked in seamlessly with that. And that's also true with the Barrats. It allowed for the Brody to be confident, and you also have the Eudora, which, if you think about it, doesn't really care about anything in that game because she is surrounded by a lot of tanky heroes anyways. Yeah, those are my thoughts about what they could have improved on.
See if they change it. They got first pick blue side here. Since they took out the Barrats, they're probably going for the Hirara themselves. In this case, I would assume just because, Uni on the Fanny, like I said, he wasn't really able to do too much around the map until eventually, they really had to dig down for them to potentially turn a game over, and it was just kind of too late because, like we saw, TNZ had the Hirata, probably, he was nearly, or for the majority of the game, he was fully stacked on that Sky Piercer. And even if he wasn't fully stacked, he was still a threat just because of how they could kind of weave in and out of those fights. And that was what we were basically talking about with the Matilda, right? So if the Matilda isn't brought up here, I'm wondering if SRG would say, you know what, let's try to run it back. Let's go ahead and take the Matilda for ourselves and make it happen here.
Yep, I can see that happening because what do you answer with the Hirara? Usually you go for assassins, and assassins generally hate playing against a Matilda. Rafaela and the Belleric, though, that prevents it, actually. That prevents the Matilda. Well, you can
already
still
know
the Matilda, but they already know. At least when the Matilda will be picked up, you do have your answers already. So, Aurora Gaming are drafting and responding really, really well against SRG's choices, first pick choices.
This is this is Aurora Gaming understanding that potential Matilda can change a lot of things, but they've got an answer for themselves because, again, like the Rafaela yesterday, that was played against them, mind you, by Victron by Vitality when they picked up the Matilda. That's the thing they had to keep dealing with, this kind of quick to revive and then get back to the fight. And it just kept going and going and going. And, you've already got a great front line with that Belric. You need to be able to activate it. So at least things change up. Solango or Red Giant say, you know what? Okay, we see the Rafaela. We're not going to go with that Matilda. We'll grab the Badang here. We get the Melissa. These are still really good 2 power picks, I feel like, in the first phase for SRG. Yooms, he's kind of known, I feel like he's known for this Badang pick, but sometimes it doesn't work out the way you would think, right? But it is still a solid choice just because, again, you can kind of slow down some of that momentum. The fist crack, fist break combo is obviously great, and it should keep who you need to keep safe. Now, you're not going to be, letting people fly around with you like Matilda, but at least, you're that protector, but you can also set things up.
Yeah. And with the Badang and the Melissa pick here for SRG, I feel like they want to go aggressively against Aurora Gaming. At the same time, do you really want to? Because this is a Belric with a Rafaela. And the idea is that you fend off the early game. You fend off the early game rush coming out from SRG, which means that you will have a better mid-game compared to SRG with this composition. So, although I feel like SRG, they do have a good synergy between their 3 heroes with the Badam being picked up. I really like that idea. But Aurora Gaming have set themselves up for a good Claude game. And remember, Claude is not a hero that we favor in the meta right now. But with the Belric as well as the Rafaela, the Belric can be flexed to the EXP as well as the roam. Rafaela can be roam or mid, as we've seen before. They're making it so that they will be the ones to decide how can they move forward this Claude and with this Claude. And I feel like this Claude is going to have a good game nonetheless because of how much supporting there is from both the Beleric as well as the Rafaela. So yeah, really good drafting here, seeing from Aurora Gaming.
I wonder if TNZ is going to, since it's already the Nolan banned out, the Harley, Makito as well, these are all junglers that TNZ has played. I wonder if he'll play something new or if this is just, maybe he gives it a go. They just swap junglers, right? What if he ends up with the Fanny here? Or maybe like what we've seen previously where it's like the Leomord has popped up in the jungle now too. So because of choices wise, and you're up against a Hirata, like your common choices are gone.
Yeah. Go for the Ruby. You think it go like Suyu, for example, maybe if there's no other choice. There is. There are some other heroes that can be picked up, but yeah, I get what you mean. It's like you're going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel right now if you are Aurora Gaming. At the same time, you know that you can actually make it work. And all due fairness, I think that TNZ can play so many heroes out there. So
yeah, I was gonna say his barrel is pretty deep, Wolf. You
yes,
gotta have a long arm to scrape the bottom of it. But that's one of the things that made TNZ such a prominent jungler and such a good jungler was that he surprised a lot of people. I remember when Harley wasn't even meta, and then he picked it up, right, and then he started playing it, and more people picked that up from there. So these last 2 picks will kind of, I feel like, put TNZ exactly where it needs to go. Oh, wow. The Edith, and then, of course, the Selena comes through. Oh, man. And then he goes the Balmond. Okay, he's going the Balmond. I wasn't expecting the Balmond, but this serves a purpose, man. You're all setting things up great here for your Claude. For Sigaboom.
Oh, that's interesting. Dark System, here we go. But the Edith...
Is Edith part of the Dark System? Wait, is she?
No,
she
not
hasn't
anymore.
been picked up much.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't before, but now it is. Think about it, like especially. But it's like you're just temporary in a dark system, maybe dark prison, perhaps, not really, or dark jail, maybe holding cell or something like that. I do understand where it's coming from. I think you tank so much damage from the pokes of Rafaela and all that. I'm just not confident about this overall lineup of the side of SRG when it comes to like dealing with the early game problems. It's like Rafaela plus the bomb. It's almost like Angela and Balmond, but this time only amplify one hero, you amplify so much. How are you peeling through that? How are you going through the skin of Aurora Gaming? Is what I'm gonna ask. But if they do get to the late game, SRG are scary.
Well, let's see. Again, I have to say this is like the same thing as game one, where we're like SRG brings something flavorful to the game, but they're face and match point here for Aurora Gaming. I don't know if that flavor is going to be good enough. Oh, nice flicker. Oh, nice. They get one in return. So Luna pops in. He's fine. Again, battle styles usually in the first minute or two is kind of what we expect to go down. Not too many first bloods unless,
Bintang-bintang dan pepohonan.
previous game. But with that being said,
Kedua bersujud padanya.
about the combination that can come through with that.
Masih ku kagum tentang langit.
Looks like he was just chilling there. He wanted to get that gold card too.
Kokoh nanti kita bertiap. Siapakah ku sebenarnya? Hanya atom yang kecil besar sombongnya. Sampai di masa ini ku masih mencari tentang arti dunia yang ramai dan sunyi. Bantu aku berjalan menuju cahaya.
We will be able to use that. It's making sure that it's always on top of Pagu and Pete, like always there to support his teammates right now. Gonna be able to get the Holy Baptism available, up and ready. Turtle not gonna be started by anyone yet. Cram will actually lose one or a few minions up top because of them staying in here. They're waiting for Kenny to be available. Gonna go for it. There's the stun, there's the knockup. The arrow will not land. Aurora Gaming are still taking the objective, and they will. Look at the initiation coming up from the but don't know follow up. Has to figure out. Hughes doesn't have the ultimate. Cram now lifts up one. They do follow up with a stun. They do have the chain, and Bagu goes down. By the way, Selena and Edith, this is a classic combo from a long time ago.
That's what I was getting to, the layering of arrows, tossing people in the air with the onward, earth shatter combo. Like there's so many multiple ways that SRG can combo. I'm just surprised again they really couldn't find the opening there to go ahead and contest the turtle the way they wanted to. Aurora easily able to get it. There's an arrow though.
Moving forward there, but the Holy Baptism as well as some of the heals will make it so that SRG will not be moving forward again. It's an even game for now, with one kill going in favor of SRG, but the turtle into Aurora Gaming. Cram is low. Knockup is there. TNC wants to chase. They do have the Rafaela soon. They can speed up this Batman. And that's what they're doing. Flicker in, jumping out from Lunar. Cram is going to be safe. A flicker for a flicker. Cram will actually lose some of the minions again up top. He's not farming well, this Edith. Whereas for Aurora Gaming, they're taking this top lane turret.
Just want to take a moment to appreciate this new ball that's given by the entire lineup. One of the first ones that I've seen. I know it just came out. There's a big ball in there. Nice flicker burst. There's an arrow.
Wait, they don't stop to use. There's so much firepower. 4 people just to invade. And they don't care. They can group up as 4. This is the way to be able to protect this god. Take away the attention from SRG so that it will be a pure 1v1 in the bottom lane where CP Boom can outplay his opponent. They're going to be very happy about this kind of laning configuration for Aurora Gaming. Because now you're getting so much mileage out of the Rafaela as well as the Batman. The early game is the meta game right now. Nice way it feels like the top teams are showing us why that is the case.
Right now, they're just going to trade objective for a boss. It's going to be another turtle. Second one going in the hands of Aurora Gaming. When was able to go ahead and take the purple, but you can see a play potentially looking to unfold here. They might pay attention now to this gold lane now that they're going to rotate down here. With that speed, conceal is going to be used. I want to answer this. This might just be a disengage just because both teams see each other and they're like, nope, we're good. We don't want to overcommit just yet. Aurora Gaming did this in the last one. In game one, they they kept it relatively even across the board until all of a sudden they flipped the switch and then they just took things under control. I feel like that's where things are going, even for game 2 right now. For Selangor Red Giants, this is again why we were wondering, how do you utilize this kind of lineup that you brought to the table? You're playing around arrows and walls right now, essentially. Cram has been pretty much delayed. I mean, he's tried if the flicker is up, if it's available, maybe something can happen, but right now it's just kind of a farming game for them. Oh no. Speaking of,
wow, that damage! Of course, that's the lethal counter, which will be an execution no matter how tanky you are. The flicker from Crab wasted. And now they still want to go for this buff. Uni stunned up and Uni dead! Look at this, kill squad coming up from Aurora Gaming. Oh!
You can't even primal wrath out of that. You just get dunked on with a lethal encounter.
Yeah.
Graham was gone in an instant, it felt like. And there's a big problem with this Ballman and the rest of Aurora Gaming right now. TNZ, what a difference, of hero from going from the Hirara now to the Ballman, where you're basically spinning to win, shredding down some of the armor. And imagine, Wolf, we haven't even seen Siggy Boom utilized yet. He's just been doing his thing, being in the gold lane, having the gold lane experience, sometimes double laning if you can. We know that Claude needs some time to go ahead and build up that power spike, hit the 3 items. Hell, the rest of Aurora Gaming has completely allowed that to happen here.
For sure. They do want to get a chain stun onto Pagu, but Pagu just stands there. Very tanky tree. Aurora Gaming will not be contested in this turtle take there. Did you see how much damage the lethal counter with the Retribution can do?
I saw. It's very lethal, as they would say.
He's now like 40% HP that he's able to get.
Turtle didn't stand a chance, man. Turtle didn't stand a chance. I don't know. Maybe the Lord will do better because TNZ right now, there's going to be more Ballmans popping up in your ranked games. I'm sure after this, just like the Mias. Now everybody has an answer. Now that we've seen Hanabi and Mia in games of the future, people are like, it's all viable. Oh, purple buff.
Purple buff, you mistaken again. This purple buff is officially Aurora Gaming's. It's no longer Uni's. It's no longer SRG. SRG right now, 75% of the map is Aurora Gaming's territory, and they're just trespassing. TNC feels very confident, pops the Retribution, forces some reactions right there. And when Uni puts himself into the purple buff of Aurora Gaming, he's not going to be able to find anything. Like, SRG are now fighting for scraps, essentially.
Yeah.
Against what Aurora Gaming is giving them.
That's one of the tough things to see. Again, maybe there's a lockdown. Finally, we actually locked down TNZ. They had to stop the Ballman, and they do just that.
The Taunt, as well as the Wrath of the Dryad, taking out Stormy, and that will actually result into an Aurora Gaming push in the middle. They do have another stun. Are Yume's in trouble? Yume's low. Yume's out. Want to go for a change here, Pagu, but now they snag Innocent. Innocent does have Purify.
Oh, from the back.
Oh, from the back it goes to take out Rosa. Really well done coming out from the Assassin, but all that just to fend off the attack from Aurora Gaming, who's now leading by 5,000 gold.
They got 5,000 gold up. Lord's going to be up here shortly. They are going to take this. Rosa will be up in 10. But here's, I guess, the caveat for SRG and everybody looking to see this go another game. At least you go ahead, Uni gets a couple kills, right? Starts to go ahead. I believe he has a Sky Piercer. If we could take a look, yeah, he does. He's got one. Oh, they want to force this fight anyway.
They want to force this fight. Indeed, Lunar down. Damage from Innocent is enough. Cram is the sacrifice. But if that means that your gold laner will be able to take one and your jungler onto the orange side or the other side of the map, I think that's going to be worth it for Cram. But they do need a lot more like this.
Yeah, like I said, it was a little caveat. It was a little opening the SRG is going for. Now Innocent is starting to get locked in. He's got his Trinity. Uni's a bit more of a threat. The difficult part is, again, looking for that either swing from the back, that opening that we've seen from Uni now a couple times. And honestly, the biggest person to do that is, if it's not an arrow, it's got to be Yumes here on the Bedang. And that's why I was saying, this is a hero he loves to play. They got to make it happen here.
Yeah, the stun connects onto the backlines. Rosa is low, but that is Rafaela to be able to heal up. as long as there's no elimination from SRG, no quick takedown of a hero, Aurora Gaming will be able to heal up. It's 10 minutes now. And for the longest time, SRG are just struggling. They're looking for the farm and they're sharing some resources here in the middle. They are famished here, SRG. But if they hang on for a few more minutes, maybe there will be a time where the natural gold gained by their heroes through the defenses as well as the ambient gold that you get, maybe that's going to be enough for them to get the items that they need to team fight against Aurora Gaming. It's all going to be a matter of can they get to that point. Let's see. So Aurora Gaming pushing down here in the bottom lane. They do get it. And they're taking away some green caps from SRG.
Yep. It looks like they were happy with that, you know, like go grab some tier 2 turrets. They didn't necessarily have the Lord lined up probably the way that they wanted to, just with the way that SRG kind of fought with them, but that's fine. I think Aurora Gaming, again, maintaining a bit of a lead, getting two tier 2 turrets are fine. Now you're 50 seconds away from the next order. You're also going to go ahead and continue to keep them famished for SRG. But SRG, despite this all, Wolf, hasn't done a terrible job, right? I mean, they've kept things relatively, I would say, within a 2,000 to 3,000 gold range. It hasn't gotten out of control. I mean, the last game we saw, at one point it was almost 8,000 gold ahead. And that starts to be in the territory of, okay, this is really difficult for us to turn this fight around. Whereas now, as long as Innocent is protected and Uni is able to weave into these fights, you can actually still win a team fight with this composition that SRG has. That's one of the main things. And now a Wind of Nature is available here for Innocent. So that is going to be crucial to go ahead and deal when Sigiboom comes in with that blazing duet here, of course. So this is an opportunity now for SRG to make something happen.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's like they're within arm's reach at least. It's a long arm, but at the same time, there is a way for them. It's not impossible. It doesn't look impossible for them to get there. But then comes the zone out coming up from Aurora Gaming. Gonna be very tricky now. They do go for the conceal this time, but there is not much initiation yet. Uni comes in the fight. Already pops one iframe. Hagu is low. But it will be enough to zone out SRG to the point where they will get the Lord. There will be one kill. Jump it from Cap. Damage from Prime. It's not going to be enough. As they get dunked on. In comes the Blazing Duet. Uses no compromise. Uses down. So is Stormy. And so is Innocent. The triple. 4. Sigiboom has been quietly farming. Now activated. Now showing what he is worth.
I don't know what Uni wanted to do, and it looks like Uni's going to go down too. He tries. He does dodge the lethal encounter, but he goes down anyway. Wolf, this might be it.
This might be it. This is how they fall. SRG with the triple coming up from Sigiboom. The placement coming up from Aurora. The early game lineup. The Balmond with the Rafaela. They will take the 3rd place match.
And Aurora Gaming does it in a sweep. In a fight I didn't expect to break out, they end up trapping the Giants in the jungle and get a massive team fight in their favor. Of course, they're going to celebrate this win here. Really dominant in this series. Once again, Aurora Gaming 2-0, a sweep for the 3rd place finish here at Games of the Future 2026. That'll set them up well with a $108,000 prize pool too for that one. So again, you know, this battle of thirds, it's some extra money in your pockets here, and it's great to see. Again, hopefully, you know, I wish we got the 3rd game. Unfortunately, we didn't. SRG, of course, it's been a long journey for them, going from MSC to this point, too. They've got some time to recover, hopefully, as all the teams complete here. We're going to be throwing it over to a quick break, though, before we go back to our panel.
Welcome aboard Air Astana. Our airplane flies into the realm of dreams. Relax as if at home, with satisfied reflection throughout your flight. You will rest and regain curiosity for new discoveries and encounters. After all, dreams are also part of the journey.
The premium building is connected. God is
need it. Got a smartphone absolutely free. That is about to speed and hooked it up and no longer problems with home internet.
Get home internet and a smartphone for free with the premium family plan.
Get ready for school with WB. WB, all you need for classes and breaks with try-on and payment on delivery.
And we are back here once again at beautiful Jekpejek Arena. We just witnessed to see 2-0 from Aurora Gaming. What an incredible performance from Aurora, coming back through toe-to-toe the team that actually beat them in the group stage.
Yeah, they did not give any chance to the SRT today.
Yeah, and you guys know what? We have a perfect and a great guest here, third time in a row, Pagu from Team Aurora Gaming. Hello once again, Pagu.
Congrats again.
Hello, how are you? How's everything?
Perfect.
Perfect?
Perfect. 2-0.
2-0. Honestly, very surprising. I personally didn't think that you guys were gonna do 2-0 because the team SRG have won you guys in the group stage. Could you tell a little bit more on that?
Yeah. So initially, after the first loss in the group stage, we kind of locked in a bit, right? Fixed the draft and everything. Now we just 2-0 them, right?
That was a payback, I believe.
Yeah, revenge.
That was definitely a payback. That was an incredible performance. I mean, this is the third place for you guys. First and foremost, congratulations. And secondly, I would like to acknowledge you and all your team of Aurora Gaming for being professionals. Why do I say that? Because, I mean, yesterday was a devastating loss, let's be real. And what was tilting, and I wanted to ask, many people are going to ask the same question. I thought you might be guys tilted because you guys aim for being a champions of the tournament, right? You mentioned you want to do 3-0 against Onyx and to play against Onyx, but that's not the case now. Tell me a little bit more on the yesterday game and how you guys managed to fight against your tilt and be here now at the 2-0. I mean, that was quite easy, let's be real.
Yeah. You're right, we were like a bit disappointed at first, but also Bigatron is a very strong team, so the game was really tough. We played well, they played well, so we just acknowledged that they really played good that day. They had a good draft, good gameplay, right? So they won and they kind of deserve it. So we weren't really that tilted. Also, we know them, they are friends, we scream against them a lot. Well, that's unfortunate for us, they won.
Yeah, I mean that's how all the time that's pure professionalism, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even after the loss, I mean, you get back up, I mean, get things together, go as a fresh day for another